everyone, welcome back on my channel. Today I'm gonna show you how I tattoo powder brows. This is part 2. You can see previous video part 1 over here. We are going to use Etalon Mix number 4, which has a yellow undertone. If you're not sure about the color, you can check it on your client's forehead. We are going to use quadro needle, 0.35 diameter, 1 needle, round liner, long taper. I like to use needle around 1.5 millimeters long. On my power supply I'm going to use 5.5. When you start tattooing, you have to stretch to the 3 different directions: towards yourself, away from you, and to the side. When you are creating the outline, be sure that you have to be very precise and do really slow and consistent movements back and forth. I like to do a little bit of bottom part and a little bit of top part, and then check it with my cotton pad. Don't forget to stretch again, and you can continue. I only do my outline over here to the highest point. Now I'm going to work on the bottom part. Don't forget to check your outline very often. You don't want to lose it. I really like to do soft shading over here because I don't want to lose my top line, but at the same time I want to make it really nice because I want to create a beautiful gradient at the end. Now let's clean the brow and check our outline. You can see it beautifully. It's really soft, but this is what we need. When I finish with my outline, I like to pluck the brows again because I want to see outline beautifully. Now let's start with the tattooing. When I tattoo tail, I am trying to be really soft because, as we know, if we put a lot of pressure at the tail, we can make the tail gray. So we have to be soft and we have to put more layers. We can check. And we see soft color. Now I am using back and forth movement. Don't forget to stretch properly, don't forget about 90-degree angle, and don't forget about consistency. These 3 things can guarantee a beautiful healed result. Now is the time to clean our tail and to see the color. Consistent movement. I like to make my tail a little bit darker, so I always put more layers from the beginning. When I am very close to the arch, my movements are a little bit far away from each other because I want to create a beautiful gradient. Now, when you are working in the body of the brow, your strokes, your movements should be really close to each other because you want to create the darkest part over here. When I am working on the first pass, I always touch the top part only a little bit, and I make my beautiful gradient at the end of the procedure. During the first layer, I mostly focus on the body of the brow, tail of the brow and bottom part of the brow. My eccentric in the machine is 2. I am using hybrid pigments and my pressure is really soft. When we are working in the front, we have to be really careful. We don't want to put a lot of color from the beginning. I work with 3 different movements, back and forth, towards me or away from me. During the procedure, you can see your progress, like this. We see that we have to put a little bit of color over here, and then we are done with the first pass. Always clean your brows with wet cotton pad and then with dry cotton pad. If you have a watery based pigment, it's normal that it spills out everywhere. If you work with glycerin based pigments, this does not happen because glycerin has thick consistency. We are going to use anesthetic here. We will leave this brow for a few minutes and we will move to the other brow. Now we move to the other side and we are going to start with the outline again. We will do top part, we will do bottom part now. We can see it beautifully. When you are on the bone, you can push your brow more up and we can continue with the bottom part. Short movements, very close to the other. Now let's do the top part. And we can clean the whole brow and check our color. Very soft. Really soft but really nice. That's what we want. If you see that your outline is very soft, but you're not too sure if it's enough for you, don't worry, you can go again. Now, when we see our line beautifully, we can start with the tail. 90-degree angle, very good stretching. And now we can use only movements towards myself. Now I'm starting with pendulum movement back and forth. And when I finish this section, I will clean and check what we have inside the skin. We can see very soft color. We will go again. I really like to be very soft on the tail and do it even 2 or 3 times. Remember, it's really easy to make your tail gray if you're pushing too much, if you use a lot of pressure. Be careful and be really soft. Check your section by section and make sure that you're not too deep. See, when you do it 2 times, it's much more visible. If you are not stretching properly, after the healing, your brows can look patchy. You have to stretch really good to make sure that you put color evenly into the skin. Now our first pass is done here and we are going to move to the other brow. Now we clean the anesthetic and we will do the second pass. I mostly use on my tail, on the body and on the bottom part. You don't have to touch your front and top part. If you would do the same again after the procedure, when the brows will be oxidized, the color will be oxidized, you will see that there is too much color already in this part. So don't touch this and this part, and let's work on the tail and bottom part now. Now we are working on the tail again. I am using back and forth movements to the bottom part and again back to the top part. Now we are working with hybrid pigments. That means that we don't have to really make our brows so saturated, because hybrid pigments stays in the skin a little bit more than mineral anorganic pigments. Here we want to define the bottom line a little bit, and very soon we will move to the other brow and then we will start with the gradient. I want to saturate the tail, body of the brow and bottom part. Now we want to saturate tail, bottom part and body of the brow. Here you can see how we beautifully defined the tail, bottom part and the body of the brow. This brow is after the second pass. Look at the difference between this one and between this one. We have to work on this one a little bit more. Now let's define tail, body of the brow and bottom part on the other brow. When you are moving closer to the top line, or when you are moving closer to the front part, make sure that your movements are a little bit far away from each other. Now I like to measure my brows again, and we will move to the third layer. Here you see where I have to work on the gradient more, on the top part and the front part. When you are working on the gradient, the best is to go always only towards yourself, and your pressure should be really soft. Movements far away from each other. And we do exactly the same on the other side. Very, very soft, no pressure at all, only towards yourself, and movements far away from each other. Last touches, and we are done. When you think that you've finished, check from behind the client if your brows are the same length, if your brows are in the same level, and you can also check if the saturation is even everywhere. We finished with the procedure. I am really happy about the outcome. Let me know what you think about the brows in the comments. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!